Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and so much fun is going to be had here. I'm really excited for this. So we get Joriel Mavanaly Recluse. Dude, I'm not going to say that name right ever, but I tried. Anyway, 2 mana 1/2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 green cat creature token. So we've seen how powerful this is with Improbable Alliance. The only downside of this is that it's a legendary, but it creates a 2/2 cat creature token instead. And then there's more text. Oh wait, there's more. For 6 mana, until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So this is really powerful for all the cat tokens, all the tokens that you're generating, but really it's powerful for things like Improbable Alliance. And so this week right now is the budget week. I'm trying to keep this deck a little bit more budget for everybody, but it's kind of sneaking in with a few other cards because I just wanted to make sure that I was playing the good, like the best version I could think of with this deck, and just kind of go with a fun different take on this, where we did get some new good red draw cards. We finally got a good 1 mana red draw card with Crash Through, which is back, where we are able to, it was, you know, it rotated out with M19, it came back with Core Set 2021. Creatures you control gain trample 10 a turn, and you get to draw a card. So that is another 1 mana red mana draw card here. If you don't have Uros, if you don't have stuff like that, that's the card to be bringing in first off for this deck if you're trying to build a more budget version. And so budget in MTG Arena is basically not having to spend as many rare cards. So there's a lot of, like, the whole core of this deck is basically built around uncommons, except for the 3 copies of Joriel that you really need. Otherwise, the other rares that we have are Royal Scions, Uro, and Teferi Master of Time. If you have any copies of these, try to fit them into the deck. They're really powerful. Being able to draw a card every single time is great. So that's really nice. You can go with that budget type of version where if you don't have these, take these out, add in Crash Throughs, add in a few other things, and it'll still work. You can add in the other payoffs. So other payoffs that we have with this deck right now for drawing 2 cards, Fairy Vandal. I decided to go ahead and throw this in here just kind of for the kicks and giggles of it. You probably ought to be running like removal in this slot instead, but like honestly, like what's the other, Fire of Prophecy, is another good card where it's removal, it draws you cards, it helps put more things onto the battlefield. So that's probably better than Fairy Vandal, but I wanted to kind of go for this whole draw your second card tribal with this deck, and then play all the things that would actually make it like a decent deck. So Uro being able to help us put more lands on the battlefield, which lands is really important with this whole deck because you're wanting to be able to play payoffs and draw cards on the same turn. So being able to get lands out early game with Growth Spiral Uro is a really good game plan. Being able to bring this back on the battlefield later, things that draw you cards without having to cast things is really nice. That's why Royal Scions and Teferi is really nice, where, you know, with Teferi we can also draw our extra card on their turn. We have some removal with it as well, and it also lets us, you know, filter through to find some new things. But then an opt can actually be enough card draw for us to get to our second draw, you know. And so pretty cool stuff. Or just Improbable Alliance or Growth Spiral, whatever, to kind of work with it. Other payoffs with this deck though, so Fairy Vandal, whenever you draw a second card, put a +1/+1 counter onto it. It has flash, it has flying. This can get really big and powerful, especially if we do get to Joriel's ultimate here, which I'm really hoping we can get to. That'd be really fun to be able to like pump up Fairy Vandals and all these tokens and just kind of do big things. Irencrag Pyromancer, another thing. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, it deals 3 damage to any target. Any target is really nice, being able to be kind of our removal slot in this deck. Again, I think Fire Prophecy would be nice to have in here as well, but this is another great card that we've seen get pretty busted at times. Mad Ratter, 4 mana, it is a little bit more expensive, but it creates 2 tokens for you every time that you draw your second card. And so if we do have this like with Joriel, we can go wide pretty quick. I've seen this get out of hand just the same way that Improbable Alliance does. Having it be a flyer is really nice. Having it be 2 mana is definitely the reason why this is played more often, but I just wanted to show that this is another card in here. I'm trying to like have a couple of the budget options in here. If you don't have the Uros, if you don't have Royal Scions, you can go for like 2 copies of Mad Ratter. You can go for, you know, more Crash Throughs. You can go for different things, but hopefully, especially because there are wild cards and getting packs, as long as you're just playing your dailies, everything like that, you should be able to open packs, get wild cards along the way. And so I didn't want to just build a deck completely exclusive of it. The issue with this one though is that they're all mythic, so I get it. These are really hard ones to get, and so I'm trying to tell you all the other cards to build with. The only rare that you really need is Joriel. The mana base, hopefully you have some of the pieces for this as well. I'm building the mana base a little bit more expensive again because if I don't get good games on here, and having a good mana base is what adds consistency to the deck. If I don't have good games, you guys don't like my videos, and so I want to make sure I'm having good videos. But you can build this with a cheaper mana base, hopefully running some of the rares and things that you found along the way, which are good. Which teamer lands are probably a good way to go as well. There's a lot of good decks to be playing with those. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the deck with what we got here and see how it does for us. Wish me luck. All right, up against Top Decker, and we have Improbable Alliance into Thrill of Possibility, potential Uro. I like it. I like it a lot. The nice thing is that we can also discard the Uros pretty effectively. Ooh. I want to find green mana with that. I think that we hold off on it. So Steam Vent's tapped, pass the turn. We can still Thrill of Possibility for another land. So Improbable Alliance, hopefully it resolves. Don't counter. Mystical Dispute. Don't be rude. All right, they're not rude. They're nice. They're just gonna Brazen Bar over it. Okay, we're good. Okay, green mana off the top. I believe in you. If not, we'll just go Thrill Possibility on the end step. Yeah, that should be fine. Ironcrag Pyromancer, getting that out's not terrible either. I like it better if we can be drawing cards the same turn it comes out, though. Well, that is land. It's green. All right, so let's get a Scry here. Another Improbable Alliance. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep that. Keep it on top. Pass the turn. We basically have shown them that we have a Thrill of Possibility. All right, going to destroy enchantment. We'll go ahead and try to Thrill here. Get some value out of it. If they have a counterspell for the Thrill of Possibilities, meh. We got a counter out of their hand. Yeah, we want Uro in the graveyard anyway. And with this deck, you know, there's so many different ways to draw cards. All right, they're just copying it. That's really good. Ooh, Royal Sands as well. We have a lot of really good cards in hand. So I'm not unhappy with everything. We still have not found a Joriel. This is Temur Reclamation. This is feeling like Temur Reclamation. Really, people playing Temur Reclamation right as the new stuff comes. You are super cool. Let's go ahead and just attack in. I'm trying to see if they have a shark. So probably just counter spells. Rude. I think just another island. Go Improbable Alliance here. Number 2. Rude again. All right. I think we're just gonna flash out Fairy Vandal. Try to hit like Royal Sands on the next turn, draw, or Uro. What's with all this rudeness? All right, I could get this out now to try to dodge counterspell, so we're gonna go ahead and flash this out now. Use the fairy, get another fairy, pass the turn. Chandra's Pyrohelix in this deck. That's kind of intriguing. I guess with all of the other stuff being played, Magic Mirror? Intriguing. All right, we could go for just payoffs here. So let's go Ironcrag Pyromancer. Attack in, and then opt. We need to hit land, just to keep hitting our lands. You go to the bottom. All right, not terrible. All right, 5 points of damage. That's a decent swing. If we can do, you know, 5, 6, 7 points of damage for the next 3 turns. I mean, well, we have lethal in 2. Have I ever had the joy of using Vivs? -2, oh, Vivian's -2 casting Stonecoil Hydra for 6. I have, actually. And it's glorious. It's a lot of card draw. They just got, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, Teferi is really tempting here. If I can filter and hit a land, I get 2 turns of damage with this. We'll go for this though. If they don't have an answer for it for the next couple turns, it's so good. All right, we'll drop another Uro or the Chemist's Insight. I guess Uro. 3 to face. No attacks past the turn. Still haven't found lands. Apparently 24 lands is definitely not enough in this deck, even though we filtered like crazy through it. They still haven't found a Wilderness Reclamation. That's been nice. This Magic Mirror, though, gets crazy. So you have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter onto it, and then draw a card for each knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror. And it costs less for each spell, instant sorcery spell in the graveyard. Really cool card. That could actually be pretty good in this one as well. I'm not running as many instants and sorceries, though. Mirror March is fun. So Mirror March with Discontinuity is the new thing. We're going to be doing that deck at some point too, because the Discontinuity, 2 mana on your turn to end the game, end the turn, no triggers at all. So the end step trigger of Mirror March will sacrifice all of your creatures, but if you have Discontinuity, 2 mana, all of a sudden they don't die, and you get to keep everything from Mirror March. So that's another really fun way to go with it. Blast Zone. They don't have Wilderness Reclamation. That's not amazing. All right, copying twice. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, losing Uros is, I guess, bad. We did have the ability to bring it back on the next turn. All right, give me land. It would be grand. Chemist's Insight. All right, well, there's not really another payoff. I could pump this, swing in for 2 more. If we hit a land, that can give us lethal. All right, so we do hit land. So we drop another Chemist's Insight. And double Return to Nature in the main board. I guess it does hit a lot of stuff right now. So, yeah, this is kind of weird, but we're going to go Royal Scion's Pump, Hold Up Thrill of Possibility for the next turn. And so that does give us lethal, as long as we get to draw the cards next turn without it getting countered. So +2 here. They could have a Shark, which then we just flash in the Fairy Vandal instead, I guess. It's only a 2/2 Shark, I believe. All right, so we do have First Strike, Trample. They're keeping themselves alive. That's cool, that's cool. Okay, pass the turn. Dude, I'm loving this deck though. They're drawing so many stinking cards. It's really getting painful. So we have a phase out with Teferi, which works pretty well with the tokens. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill the tokens like other things do. Okay, we're gonna stop here. They can go for Blast Zone on 3 now. Do we want to go for Fairy Vandal? We can do everything at instant speed, right? So I guess we're fine with this. Let them start tapping down. They have Expansion Explosion. All right, so there they go. So now they're tapped out. We do get to play something here. I guess it's just Thrill of Possibility, though. What else can we find? All right, draw a card here first. Another Ironcrag Pyromancer. All right, so we got the game. So discarding, I guess it's Fairy Vandal. Just in case, we'll keep it. Thrill of Possibility. Go Thrill of Possibility. Draw 2 cards. Oh, we have to discard again. Fairy Vandal. Yay, now we found all the lands we would need to discard. Bring them to 1. They go X3. They can kill Pyromancer, Royal Scions. They sack it. That's cool. We get another Pyromancer.
Shocked and shattered.
And hopefully something else. Not yet. All right, Fable Passage. Ironcrag Pyromancer. Do you have the counterspell? We can pay for Mystical Dispute. Ah, they got it. All right. Mystical Disputes might be nice in this deck too. All right, we need I guess we have green mana in hand, but we don't really care to go for it. All right, grab that. Resolve. Okay, now how do we actually win here? That's not bad. All right, discard Breeding Pool, Improbable Alliance. Please no more counter spells. Please no more Return to Natures. Dude, they've had so many like janky things that have been helping them stay alive here. Alright, that's getting bigger. Down to 29 cards left in the library. But they're getting set up to win here pretty soon too. They are at 1. This is the most intense game. Alright, now they're at 4. That's less good. So technically, I could phase this out. And I think it would stay on the battlefield after the fact. Because it wouldn't re-enter and the trigger would go away. So I could be nice and let them have it. But I'm not going to do that. That's just dumb. Shock themselves back down to 2. They're going to play again. Another Uro. Okay. Yep, that does it. Man, man, yeah, the magic mirror, they finally are getting all the value of having it the whole time. They're the breeding pool. We don't have a lot of just direct damage, unfortunately, right now. Ironcrag Pyromancer was like the main way to go with it. So expansion kills Teferi, draws so many more cards. Only 18 cards left. This does get a little bit hard to deal with later. All right, let's go Chemist's Insight. I guess we can play more things from hand this way. So discard the land, draw 2. Honestly, we can get to like a Joriel and still potentially have a shot, just going wide and having a bunch of cards in hand. All right, play you. I mean, there is a chance they've drawn in their entire deck, but they may not have their 3rd expansion explosion, right? 4th. Okay, they have played 3. Having a card to be able to discard is nice. Do we need to play this land? We have the 6 mana here. We have 6 mana here. Being able to draw 2 is nice. So I think we just pass the turn. Dreadhorde deck that has white in it for 9 lives in the Wonder. That'd be fun. The Wanderer with it. Yeah, that's a lot of ways to prevent damage. At the same time, though, 9 lives, I've seen it lose just by being attacked by a wide board many a time so far. The one nice thing, though, is that 9 lives stacks. So if you have like multiple enchantments of 9 lives, it'll put it onto the other ones first, like the ones with the fewest things. For the love. I mean, when you have your entire deck in your hand, it's not unlikely to win with it, you know? All right, so let's see if they have the last expansion exposure. There is a chance that it's the last card that they find, and they don't get it until they mill themselves out, which, I mean, they're not terribly far away from doing. There is that chance that it's the very last card. Brazen Borrower, okay. That's fine, that's fine. I mean, the issue is that they should have at least like Shark Typhoon or something like that to kill us here. So apparently you can press QQ to tap everything at once. Or like, what is it that you press to tap everything? What's up, Endless One? It is QQ? Okay, that's what I thought. I've not actually done it because I don't typically play Wilderness Reclamation. It's an amazing deck, by the way, though. All right, yeah, 25 Shark. I don't think we have any real interaction with it in this deck, except, yeah, our Teferi's already gone. All right, good game. I mean, technically, we can make a blocker. I guess it's not just straight up good game. All right, now it is. All right, well, yeah, now it's definitely a good game. I was gonna let him do it. Like, we did have a shot there. We did actually still have a chance of creating a blocker. Maybe they could have made another shark, but if it's not enough to kill us, they might have just milled themselves out before they had a chance. Very slim chance there, but it could happen. All right, we got a couple payoffs. We do have some card draw, so we're gonna go ahead and keep this. We need to hit lands to get there, which we do have the Scry land to start out with. So this is good. More land, yep, keep it. Pass the turn. We could flash in the Vandal to not show him anything. There is a potential Mystical Dispute. All right. I mean, typically the better play is to get that out onto the battlefield, right? You know, Weaponsmith. Let's go for... And do we go for Ironcrag Pyromancer here? They're tapped down. I think that we do. We don't have a land in hand to really make Uro work. I've seen some people playing this for active abilities of artifacts. There must be some sort of combo with it. Let's go Uro. See if they want to counter. And we got the land tapped. All right, no attacks. I kept thinking they had something going on there, but maybe not. This could also just be like an older, not as fine-tuned version. All right, how much can we do this turn? I can thrill and thrill, but for 2 turns, but I can't play Fairy Vandal and that. I'm debating if it's worthwhile to play the Fairy Vandal or not. I think we just go Thrill of Possibility, discard Chemist's Insight. And flash this out in response. Have we already hit a land this turn? Okay, this is mill. All right. We can still go for another Thrill of Possibility. Discarding the Fairy Vandal. I think that's still the better play. We're getting more damage in. This guy can grow really big. But drawing 2 cards here seems nice. And having the opt isn't bad. Okay, down to 16. Pass the turn. Double Pyromancer, sweet. That's a lot of damage pretty quick there. With the mill, we actually get Uro back pretty soon. We might want to do that before they find a way to exile it. That could be the card draw for this turn. I could also just kill the Gargoyle with the Pyromancer and be able to swing in again. We can do that on the next turn. Let's go for Uro. Not the Chemist's Insight.
Oh, so tired.
I have, you will.
Alright, so didn't say please to counter again. Rude. If they block, we get to kill it. If not, we get to draw here. More card draw is nice. If they do exile, we don't get the Chemist's Insight. So yeah, we'll go ahead and keep that. Send it at face. Down to 11, pass the turn. Joriel in a Bant ramp list. I think that'd actually be pretty good. There's enough like incidental card draw. Like even if you just get it for 2 turns in a row, it's really nice. The issue is that I think it competes a little bit with like the Griffin Aerie, which is a pretty good card as well. Oh, they're gonna go aggro? Sweet. We'll take it. completely tapped down. Stable passage. So we get Pyromancer into Uro. All right, so yeah, I think that's what we do. So Pyromancer, we don't quite have lethal, but this is just good. Ooh, there's Joriel. Finally found it. I hate when I build a deck all around one card and then you can never find that one card. It's really annoying. At least you didn't know. All right, how much can you do with Nyx Lotus with only 2 devotion? But I mean, there's still a lot of mana. 7, 8, 9 right now. 2 cards left. Leyline of Anticipation. Godfair Statue Blue. All right, and that's game. We're gonna get out Joriel first. And photo skips it up. Rude. That's fine though. Dude, I hate it. We finally get out the Joriel. And people scoop. All right, so we don't have any payoffs just yet, but we have Growth Spiral into Uro, so we're gonna keep this. This is not a bad game plan, getting to all these things later in the game. So yeah, Forest past the turn. That's empty. So sad. Oh man, I'm a little bit terrified, honestly, of these decks. So we don't have a land, and so going for Opt might be the better play here. We'll pass the turn either way. We could draw into land with Growth Spiral, but that's not a guarantee in being able to get the land out. It lets us get to Uro, which would be really nice to draw to gain life against this. If they get to Cavalcade though, Cavalcade of Calamity with the Chandra, the new Chandra Pyrohelix guy or whatever, is so good. Well, that's bad. That's really bad. At least they're scared of us having something to flash in. Man, what do we go for here? Getting out Ironcrag Pyromancer could be nice. So if we can opt into like red mana, well, glad I didn't do Growth Spiral. Oh wow, that is 3 ops off the top. Yay! All right, Uro, go. Please find red mana. Maybe we needed to add another land or 2 into the deck. I figured with all the card draw we'd have that we'd be able to like kind of filter through and get to it. I mean, which we kind of got to it. But this is just going way too slow. Well, Uro again. There's something you said about going Opt into Growth Spiral instead there. So now we get the Opt anyway. And we're basically dead on board, so yay. I mean, I want to see if we can do anything here. All right, they have never played. Good game. All right, that was the nuttiest of nut draws ever. We will, we'll just go to the next one. Their tail between our legs. All right, up against Grandia Bobora. Bring it on, and yeah, keep it. It's interesting with this deck. There's so much card draw in like the early game turns that like. It's hard to not keep hands that have a lot of the pieces you want, you know? Growth Spiral would be nice to get out earlier so we can go in Probe Alliance into this, but like we do want to be drawing cards, like getting the value from this as quick as possible. So I think that we go for this first. Yeah, I always think it's refreshing to be able to see people play other stuff. That's the reason I'm not playing in Ranked right now. In Ranked, you run into so many of the same type of stuff. Man, Priest Forgotten Gods. We kind of have a good game plan for that. Teferi. All right, so forest, growth spiral, land. It's a real possibility for the next turn. If I hold on to it, I can also Ironcrag Pyromancer and make sure that I can kill this. I mean, we should be able to draw into more card draw stuff, right? So pass the turn. Yeah, but free play, you tend to find more interesting stuff. At the same time, though, I've run into the same Priest of Forgotten Gods deck so many times, and it's ridiculous. All right, so we'll say no blocks. We'll take the 1. I'm sure they're playing something else. I'm going to sack Priest. But if we can keep this on the battlefield for longer, we get to the Ironcrag Pyromancer and have a guaranteed way to kill Priest of Forgotten Gods. I think I want to make sure that I can do this on the same turn. So I may not throw out the thrill possibility right now. Unless they sack. Alright. Because we can create another token. If we can keep this alive for the Teferi, we have a shot. Brings things back. All right. Yeah, mono black right now. This is getting annoying. I've been seeing so much of this. Man, this is a hard choice. I'm just gonna go to my turn. Make sure that we can do this. So pay 2, Pyromancer, Thriller possibility, drop the Fairy Vandal. Now we hit all the lands we want to discard. Kill the Priest, create a token, pass the turn. Killing Priest, I think, is just, you have to do it. Priest of Forgotten Gods, such a good card. I legitimately think, like, if they were to do another ban of another round of bans, it would be Ugin, Teferi, and Priest of Forgotten Gods that need to be banned. They're just too good. So it has Menace. So yeah, we just take it. No blocks. Down to 9. That's not a very high life total. But Teferi, Master of Time, start creating lots of tokens. They can't really swing in as aggressively after that. Yeah, this is Death Touch. Oh my gosh. Yep, you're cool. You got it all. The driver with another 5 gift subs. Oh my goodness. You are so amazing. All right, well, we're gonna shock ourselves here, but we get to do some pretty cool stuff. Draw a card and discard.
I'll just make one up.
Discard here. Kill Priest again. The issue here is these Rated Scorpions. We do get to phase them out, kind of. I need to start actually getting in damage. Actually, this is kind of good blockers. Death Touch and Menace. So no attacks past the turn. We get to phase something out at least. All right, so the gifted subs went to Chris Boy, the Irish Hog, Galatone, Kick That Arse, and Gim5. Thanks so much, the driver. You are a beautiful human being. Are you kidding me? If they have land into this again, oh, they have just the Kaya's Ghost form, which I can phase out in response. So I say to you, nay. All right, so how do we do this? Kill you. Kill you. I hate that you have to do it this way. Kill you. So we take 1, 2, 3. And hopefully we can survive through the rest of this. But I believe that we can. All right, 4, We have a lot of filter effects, which can be kind of nice, but also meh. We need removal for this
Steady your
guy.
mind, Rowan.
So we need to be able to draw
And I
2
will
cards on the
inspire
next
your
turn. So
heart.
let's go ahead and yeah, draw a card here first.
I enjoy the proper application of knowledge.
We can't play this, so drop the growth spiral. And bringing our life total down is annoying, but yeah, we gotta do it. Ugh, man, this is brutal. We need to find some life gain. I mean, Joriel is a kind of interesting way to go with this. So draw a card here. Well, we can discard the Fable Passage. It's not bad. Swing in here. Down to 29. We got him, folks. We got him. We don't have any card to go with Thrill of Possibility here. Okay, so draw a card again. One mana short. Discard the Chemist's Insight. Lurrus was phased out. I couldn't hit him with right then. He was phased out until their turn. And so yeah, I wasn't able to do it. Use Forgotten Gods again. I mean, they can't really do a lot with Lurrus still. They can't swing in this turn. I mean, we are slowing the game down at least. All right, we kill a token. It comes back. Okay, so I guess we filter now. Man. Okay, discard here. Kill Priest of Forgotten Gods. We're gonna stop on their upkeep. Improbable Alliance, go. If we find an Uro here, that could be pretty nice.
Plan is crystallizing.
So keep drawing. So yeah, on their upkeep, we're going to Chemist's Insight, kill the Lurrus before they can cast anything onto it. And then just hope that they don't find any way to deal damage to us real quick. We can find an Uro before that, then we're fine. So let's go ahead and attack in here. Keep that life total coming back lower. Like, we actually have a shot. If we find Uro, we have a really good shot. So pass the turn. Chemist's Insight. Discard Thrill of Possibility. Resolve. Okay, get some triggers. Kill the Lurrus. Alright, sweet. We in the game, folks. We in the game. We have a blocker here so that we don't actually kill the Archfiend's Vessel. Passed their turn. Alright, so. Land. That's not anything important. Serrated Scorpion's another thing they can get. We have the phase out. You gotta be kidding me. They keep getting it over and over. Oh, all right. I mean, we have all the answers for it, so that's fine. The Serrated Scorpion, though, is annoying. Yeah, I think we need to find an Uro. If we find Uro, we're fine. There we go. Okay, we found an Uro. Fairy Vandal, go away. How much mana do I have? I can try to dig for another land, so I go Mad Ratter and Uro. I think that we need to find more green mana too, just to be able to play this again. So Uro. Dude, their drawing skills have been amazing. Just saying. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So once we gain life, they really don't have a shot anymore. And so that was the game right there. Finding the Uro finally, which I don't even know how many cards left we had. That was an insane game. That was super fun. Whew. Alrighty then. Dude, I like this deck. I'm a big fan of this deck. So overall, I think that it's solid. There's definitely pieces that you can maybe tweak with it. If you're trying to go for the more like competitive version, I think it is taking out things like Mad Ratter, taking out the Fairy Vandals for like maybe 2 Sprite Dragons, and maybe a little bit more removal like Fire Prophecy. Teferi was really good. I think that going up to 2 copies of that at least. It is 4 mana, which is a little bit expensive. We were kind of seeing that with this, but I like it better than Royal Scions just for being able to draw cards consistently. The Royal Scions though, being able to have the -8 is actually really powerful. Of course, the -10 with this is really powerful too. So I don't know. Overall, I really like this deck. It's a powerful one. There's definitely ways to rebuild it. Jolrael, this card definitely added to it the one time we finally got it out on the battlefield and it stayed alive for a turn. It's definitely going to come out more often than that though. I mean, like Improbable Alliance came out turn 2 pretty often. This is basically another copy of Improbable Alliance that you can be trying to have something coming out turn 2 and start creating value with a board. We saw how powerful this is. The one side of it though is that Improbable Alliance is a lot harder to kill than Jolrael. Where this can die to a lot of removal on turn 2, whatever. So you might want to be holding off on it until turn 3 or 4 when you can immediately get value out of it. And so anyway, that's kind of my thoughts. Overall, this deck is super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.